I gotta get me a drink too.
Right.
All right. Peace, you guys. Welcome to Just Us Jenkins. If you are seeing me for the first time, I'm Jamillah, stay at home homeschooling mama of three beautiful babies. I'm also a certified Reiki master, lineage healer, generational curse breaker, spirit whisperer, and owner of healingmama.com. That's healing without the G, baby. Tonight, we are back with another episode of the Motherhood Realness podcast, and I have the beautiful Crystal Bolton tonight. Gratitude once again for being here, spending an hour of your precious time, honey, with your girl.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I am so grateful to be here. Spirit just to be working, and it all happens in divine time. So it's been needing to happen for a while and it happened now because it's time. So I'm grateful to you for your platform and inviting me here. So thank you so much.
Anytime. And I can't wait for you to come back. We ain't even got into it yet.
Right. I'm like, I was just saying that earlier to one of my sisters. I said, oh, okay, I'm focusing on the financial part, but I have other things I'm working on. And once I get those things together, then I'm going to be coming back and, just putting it out there because it's time to, stand on stage, ma'am. It's time to teach. Okay. It's time to put the word out. So, yeah, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Now,
Yes.
Crystal, every time I posted about our topic this week, I flubbed it. And I told you, I'm just like, I don't even know. So explain to us what you do, boo.
Sure, sure. Greetings, everybody. First off, I'm Crystal Bolton. I'm from Oakland, California. I'm from the Bay, where it is expensive to play. Okay, expensive to live. It goes down in the Bay. Okay, so I do many things. Tonight, I'm focusing on the financial aspects of what I'm doing within my business. I work for a financial independent financial marketing services company, Primerica. Not sure if any of you heard of that, but Primerica is one of the largest independent financial companies. And I am a senior representative there, and I work to help families with many different things. Okay. First off, the first thing that we want to focus on is our mission because our mission is important to me because it's something that no matter what business, if I'm looking at my financial portion or my spiritual portion, this mission statement still holds true. And our mission is to help families earn more income, become
Yeah.
properly protected, debt free, and financially independent. I mean, come on,
Mm.
right? Come on, like help families earn more income. Just right there. I've not met one person yet who is like, I make enough money. I don't need to make any more.
Right?
I made enough. I'm good. So yeah, so we're going to help you to earn more income and to become properly protected. When we look at proper protection, we're talking about like life insurance. So many people transition and they are underinsured or not insured at all. And
Yeah.
so our job is to make sure that you have something because something is always better than nothing. Of course, sometimes we want to aim for the higher face values, $200,000, $300,000 policies. Well, maybe you can only afford to start off at 25,000. That's fine. Start where you can, and then later on, you can always expound upon that. Okay, become debt free because we know that as we are paying all this money into debt, that comes with interest, and you just paying all this money out, and we want you to double down that debt, pay off that debt, so that way you can begin to use that money to work for you and become financially independent because that money you were using to pay down your debt, you can now use that money to invest in different portfolios, whether that's in savings, properties, whatever it is you choose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is our mission is to help families to really just, win out here because when you think about the game, the only way to win a game is what?
To be all the steps ahead, honey.
Exactly. You have to know the rules first of all, because you can't win if you don't know. You don't know.
Yep.
You have to know what you're playing. Have to know how to play. And for so many years, they we know who they are, right? They have been playing the game, and we are losing somewhat because we don't know how to play. We don't know the rules, and so we want to make sure that we are providing the information to our clients so that they can make informed decisions because that's what sets us apart is being able to know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Financially, having a financial education. Where am I? GPS locate yourself. Where am I? What's going on? There's so many facts that we just don't know about. And that is our goal, is to make sure that we are going to educate our people so that they can make informed decisions. One of the ways we do that is we have a how money works system, and that teaches people how they can make informed decisions about how to manage their finances. We have an amazing app called B Dollar Smart. It takes about 5 minutes. It's a financial assessment. It gives clients a snapshot of their financial situation. It allows you to select what it is that you do or don't have. Some things may be of interest to you and some may not, and you'll let us know either way, right? We also provide a financial needs analysis, which provides a detailed solution on how, you know, you can improve your finances. We like to refer to it as like our GPS system, right? We want to GPS locate yourself. Where am I? Where am I going? And with doing so, that allows you to then map out multiple directions and not maps, multiple avenues to get you from where you are to where you want to go. Again, by knowing all the information you need to make the best decision for you, because what works for one might not work for everybody else.
Right.
Hey, peace, everybody.
Peace, everyone in the chat. I appreciate you talking about this because, to be honest, Crystal, I haven't had any access to this information since I worked a 9 to 5. So I've been a stay at home mom for going on 8 years now, and my husband's self employed. And so the only, like, oh, sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
The only avenue we have to like information is like a flyer or a mailer we'll get in the mail and stuff like that. And so I really appreciate you talking about this topic and this subject. And then recently, my husband lost his father, and that was like the biggest impact, was not having the proper like afterlife planning. And it is
Yes.
expensive, and they don't be playing. Like they want their money today, they want it now. So thank you so much for sharing with us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up because it's one of the things that we discuss with our clients. So, for instance, you have a two-parent household, a two-income household. You make say $3,500 a piece or more, right? Your bills are about 7,000 a piece. If one person were to transition out, what happens to those bills? They gonna keep billing. Okay, the bill collector unfortunately does not care whether your loved one is gone. They'll send their condolences, but they still gonna send that bill. And so one of the things we like to do is to make sure that we take a look at how we can replace that income if someone were to transition out. How much money, how much income do you need in life insurance, so that way you can still sustain the life that you had in the absence of your loved one? Because it's nothing worse than grieving your loved one and now you have to worry about how you're going to pay these bills. If there's a mortgage on the house, especially, sometimes they like, we want our money up front, or maybe you're not able to pay like, we don't want to go in foreclosure, lose your housing. If you have children, you have to think about that. It's just so much, and we don't want our people in situations where they're forced to make a permanent solution based off a temporary situation. And so we always want to just be proactive instead of reactive. No shade to anybody, but I know it's a lot of people who they go out and they do fundraisers and GoFundMe's and things like that because they're doing what they have to. But the thing about it is, if you knew better, you could do better. Life insurance is not always that expensive. Sometimes we think, oh man, it's going to cost me a couple $100s. Well, it depends on what you're trying to get, right? It depends. Right. You know what I mean? You don't have to start there. You can start where you're at. You can say, hey, I just helped a client get about $150,000 in life insurance for like 30 something bucks a month. That is pretty affordable. I mean, like, that's like a DoorDash. That's one DoorDash meal. And that's depending if you just getting it for yourself. Because we know DoorDash be taxing.
They be taxing.
A period. I remember I was going to order a burrito and it was like $10. By the time I finished, it was like $25, $30. I said, well, I guess I'm not having that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just about, finding the money, because we have the money. Sometimes we're just using the money for other things. And if we say, okay, it's time to double down and really focus because I have a goal that I want to achieve, then I might have to, cut out some of those expensive things that
make the burrito and not dash the burrito.
Come on now. Okay, because we be cooking with Just Us Jenkins. I'll be tapping into your lives. You inspire me. I'm like, yes, I have to get up and, go live. I have to do this. Like, you be on it, homeschool day, homeschool Just Us Jenkins. I'm like, yes, this is so powerful. People need to see it because it's not something that has been mirrored to us. And a lot of times we're starting from scratch and we're kind of like out here winging it because we didn't see our parents do it. They're doing it differently. And I'm grateful for my parents, my elders, my ancestors. They did the best they could and they did what they were taught. But as we know, we are dealing with a generation coming in. It's like, I don't want to do 9 to 5. Yeah. I don't want to work my entire life and retire and barely have enough money to sustain, or I can barely, enjoy it because I've worked 56 years and my body is tired.
Right.
We're trying to change the game.
Oh, let's get into a few little comments. Let me scroll back up. Let me scroll back up, yo. Nellie B7 said, hey.
Peace.
Mrs. Newton's big family, big noise. She said, hello. Yes, Nelly, gotta play the game.
Yes.
With Crystal, we gonna get them pawns together, okay?
My sis.
Can't give up. And Miss Newton said that she's a mama of 8. Oh, bless your heart, because baby, my 3 be feeling like 13. Okay.
I have 2, and they old enough to do for self, and I'll still be like, "Whoo, child, to get up." Hey, thanks.
I don't know if I say this right, but Shelly,
that is my sister.
Oh, she said, hello, thanks for the invite.
Indeed, thanks for coming.
And Mrs. Newton said, life insurance definitely is not as expensive as people think. Shay, absolutely. And Ellie said, yeah, we got to be in the kitchen, flipping, scrambling, frying, all that.
Period.
And then Jenkins said, hey, ladies, hey, boo. And then Nellie said, don't do my nephews like that.
That's my other sister. I'm just saying, though, they do. I mean, children take a lot. Like, the African proverb says it takes a village to raise a child. And it's not just about raising children. It's raising a family. Like, each one teach one. I am because we are. It's about the collective. We are people. Our people are collective. We're community based. We're not individual based. And so I'm a single mom and I have 2 sons and I homeschool. So it'd be a lot. You know what I'm saying? I love my sons, but it'd be a lot. It'd be taxing on me. And this is why I love what I do, because I'm able to help families, but I'm also able to do it from home. Because, you know what I'm saying? Homeschooling, I'll be looking, some days I'll be like, dang, I should, I could, again, I ain't never met nobody who said they can't earn some extra money. So some days I'd be like, dang, I could go clock a 9 to 5 real quick, maybe for extra little income. And I'd be like, girl, when you going to find the time? You already... don't just double down on what you already have. Tap back into the resources that you already have going on.
Well, Crystal, let me ask you, where do we start at? Like, what's the jump off point for all of us?
Right. So, sorry, I'm just pulling up my notes. Right.
Okay.
Definitely the first thing we want to do is you want to know that, hey, I need some assistance. You want to, be honest with yourself, because that's the only way we're going to ever grow and change is if we say, you know what, I need some assistance. So reaching out to somebody, and I know a lot of times that comes with knowing somebody that you can trust and like, and trust, you know what I mean? So reaching out and saying, hey, I'm in need of some assistance. Like I said, one of the things we do is we provide a financial needs analysis. That booking that session with us will allow us to look into your finances and see where it is you need assistance, and just game plan and map it out for you. Because again, what works for one might not work for the next person. One of the biggest opportunities we have is our business opportunity, coming in. If you're like, hey, I could use some extra income. I like the whole work from home or work from wherever, if you want to be in Barbados on the beach, by all means, please do. You know what I'm saying? That's as well, just so that way you can earn extra income. Because at one point in time, like, having an additional income was a nice to have, but now it's really a necessity. I remember watching the news one day and it was like low income in, I want to say Bay Area, it might have said California, is $100,000. I said, so what am I? Because $100,000 is considered low income. Like, I was blown away.
That's crazy.
The markets is crazy, and so we're needing to make additional money. And the first thing you want to do is you want to look at those finances and see where am I, what's going on, where is my money going, how am I spending my money, and so that way you can begin to make your money work for you.
Hmm.
Yes, say that. Raising a family, I'm grateful to have a very supportive husband. Yes. And even when having two parents in the house, it's still challenging. It's still taxing, but having a support system is everything, right? It's everything. That was San Francisco. Low income is 140,000. See what I'm saying? The Bay
Yeah.
Area is crazy. Like, it's so expensive out here. I want to say like a one bedroom will probably run you about $2,800 a month.
Okay, I'm gonna stay in Utah then.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I be thinking about relocating a lot of times. Like, homes out here are selling for, upwards of seven. I mean, you get approved for a loan for $600,000. You might get a 1 or 2 bedroom house, and it might not have a backyard. Oh, look, she said
I,
5,000 in Oakland. That's crazy, right? And it's small. Like, I remember looking for a place one day, and this was some years ago, and it was, I think, a 2 bedroom. But when I tell you, the hallway was so tiny, we had to turn sideways to go through it, and I'm like, y'all took this Victorian home and chopped it into like 4 or 5 different units so you can make more money, and you charging each one 3 G's. This is crazy. It's insane. And so, I'm yeah, I'm blown away. A month
Lord,
is up to 6K.
that's crazy. A month of rent is up to 6K. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty alarming, to say the least.
She said, "Yep, my relatives live downtown Oakland, 2 bed, 2 bath, high rise for 4K." Oh, Lord. Okay, let me pick my chin up. If you get houses, house in Oakland, over 100 years old, has been painted with new floors installed. Wow, 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 wow. That's crazy. And my husband and I talk about this a lot. And a lot of people that end up here in Utah,
Hmm.
a lot of them are from California, and they're like, baby, it's cheap out here. It's cheap.
Wow, really?
You will need to get pipes changed, roof done, and maybe even more. That's crazy. More than your mortgage. Yeah. And then Nelly said, so a lot of us live in what's considered the valley in different countries. So I have to make that. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just kind of like flipping through my notes real quick.
Oh, you're
Um,
okay. I mean, I'm with Miss Newton, baby.
mhm.
I feel myself very lucky, very blessed, because we live on one income. One thing I do have to always kind of tell my kids is like, they're like, Mom, sometimes we have to wait a while. Outside flooding. What? The sprinklers? I can't follow you, baby. Hold on, let me finish, okay? Can we go to the front office? They're closed. It's going bad. Oh. Going really bad. They're closed. They're closed. So like when Daddy gets home, we'll have to call the emergency number, okay? Okay. When Daddy gets here. But I tell the kids, yeah, sometimes we gotta wait a little while to do certain things. But that's the difference between our household and other.
Mhm.
I'll have to tell if you said hello. Between your other friends and us is that both of their parents work. They work outside the home, but still they're, from the way it looks, barely scraping by. Okay, like, so wow, we definitely have to have ways to generate and plan accordingly because it's crazy out here.
It definitely is. I wanted to double back to Nelly when she said, so the commute is crazy. That's a valid point, because one of the greatest assets you have outside of your mind, right, is time. That's the true freedom, is to be in control of your own time, right? And so when we think about the commute, you might have to move 30 to 40, 50 minutes or miles away from where you work on a day with no traffic. That, it's not too bad, but that could easily turn into an hour and a half, 2 hours in traffic. Of course, now everybody's commuting to work, so you're in the traffic 2 to 4 hours a day, in the
Yeah.
morning and at night. You go to work for 8 to 12 hours a day. Okay, you get home. By the time you get home, you barely have enough time to sit down and eat with your family, tap in with one another, see how everything's going. Do those check-ins and bond and engage before you got to go back to bed because it's time to get up and do this all over again. You got
Yeah.
to get up at the crack of dawn to get to where you're going, and it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But the way the economy is set up out, especially like I said, out here, a lot of people are moving on the outskirts because it's cheaper. They can afford to live there, but they have to come here because it pays more. You live
Yeah.
over there, it doesn't pay so great. So you're like, well, let me go back over here. But then you think about that, and then it's a wear and tear on your car and your life and your body. It becomes a lot. It definitely becomes a lot. So I like to say, at the end of the day, finding the avenues that is going to assist you to make your money make more money and make your money work for you is going to always be super beneficial. Are we on a pause?
Oh no, go
Okay.
ahead.
It's going to be super beneficial. It makes me think about the rule of 72. Has anybody here heard of the rule of 72? Tap in the comments if you know what the rule of 72. So 4 to 6 hours out of your day on the road. Exactly.
Thank you for setting me up with life insurance, Crystal, making sure to leave a legacy and no debt for my family. Ashe.
Yes, you are very welcome. You are very welcome. No, we don't know. Okay, so yeah, so this is the thing, right? So the rule of 72 is basically saying when you take the number 72 and divide it by the interest rate on your savings account, you can find the approximate number of years it takes for your money to double. Now, when we think about our savings accounts that are in most banks, how much do they give you? About 0.001%.
Yeah, if that.
If that, exactly, right? So say for instance, you take $10,000, right, and you invest that into a savings account that is yielding 3%. It's going to take your money 24 years to double. Okay, so 24 years I'll have $20,000. I mean, that's okay, but again, looking at the economy, looking at the interest rate, looking at it's not going to last long, right? So 3% is cool, but you can always do better, right? So if I take that same 10,000 and invest that into a savings account that's yielding 6%, 6% is pretty good. 6% means it's going to take 12 years for my money to double. When I take 72 and divide that by 6, 12 years. So I invest that same 10,000 in 12 years, I'll have $20,000. We think about retirement. If you start young, right? 40, say 48 years from then, you have $160,000. It's going to keep doubling. And then, of course, I'll stop there. I don't want to go higher, but there are some higher yielding savings accounts that allow your money to double faster. And that's what a lot of the wealthy do. They're investing their money in the accounts that are going to double their money for them quicker, right? And then you make that money, you take that money and you invest it in different portfolios, whatever it may be of interest to you, whether it's, real estate, because that's one of the greatest assets is having some land. Um, but
Keep going. I will be right back, okay?
yes, absolutely. But you build your portfolio based off of, what is of interest to you and your family and what it is that you're trying to do, which is why it's important to sit down with someone that like and trust, and just map it out. Let them know, hey, this is what my goal is, and this is what I'm trying to do, and then allow them to assist you to, make the allow them to assist you to make the best decisions based on your new knowledge, because they didn't teach us this in school, right? um it sucks, but it's true, they didn't teach us this, and it's unfortunate because they want us to be consumers. They want us to consume, and and the way the generations now is coming, they is like, I'm not here to play them games. Yeah, playing the game, being in the hamster race, right? Excuse me for one sec, I just want to look up something I didn't want to misquote. um Yes, there he is. The quote is from Albert Einstein. He said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. Yeah, that's how that works. So think about, most of us, we aren't earning compound interest, we're paying compound interest. And so we want to teach you about compound interest so that you can begin to earn compound interest, because that's what they're doing. They're earning compound interest. That rule of 72, oh, they're taking that and they're looking at those higher yielding savings accounts so that they can invest their money and make it double quicker. Um, in addition to that, we want to assist you to begin to become financially independent, right? What's the best way to do that? One of our, I'll say our motto is buy term, invest the difference, right? We know some people were paying, a great deal amount on their life insurance. So say, for instance, I'll give you an example. You have this $200,000 life insurance policy, and maybe you're paying $160,000 for it, right? What if I can show you to get $200,000 or more of life insurance, like you already have, at a fraction of that cost? Say you paying 160, I can get it to you for $30,000. That additional and $30 that you were paying into that policy, you can now use that to invest into a high yielding savings account. I won't speak too much on that because I'm not securities licensed at this point, but I am studying. Okay, so we can do some investments. But again, you have to know the rules. Compound interest, those who know, they are earning it, and those who don't are paying it. Most of us are paying it. It's time to stop paying that compound interest and start building on it.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you guys. I don't
It's
know
okay.
what water flooding the parking lot out there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hush.
They're
Puppies.
like, I need you to come see this though. It's
Yeah, like
happening.
for freaking out. So obviously, I'm gonna go have to watch that part on the replay. So
Oh,
sorry,
good. No
guys.
worries. What was that?
I can't remember. Well, what you can move on to whatever you want to. Girl,
Okay.
I forgot what we was even talking about, girl.
We were just talking about compound interest. What I was saying was, Albert Einstein, he quoted that the compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, and he who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. I'm like, they didn't teach us this in school.
No.
And so a lot of times we're being groomed to be consumers, to consume, consume, consume. They don't want you to know this, because then you can become free. You break free, you're no longer participating in the rat race. You're no longer, feeding the matrix. You are out here doing your best thing and living your best life.
Right.
Okay. And that's what we want. We want to show our people ways to do that for themselves. Again, living financially independent, financially free, to be in
Mm,
control of your own time. We talked about life insurance, but there are other services that we do offer.
mm,
And so I just wanted to talk about that for a quick moment, because it's very, very, very important to just make sure that you have everything you need. So one of the we have a couple of referral products. We have auto, home, and commercial insurance. Um, when is the last time? Most people, we find an insurance company, it works, we stick with it every year, we just kind of renew it. But we like to say, hey, no harm, no foul. We'll give you the referral, give them a call, or they'll call you and they'll run the numbers. And if it works and you can find a discounted rate, something that's maybe the same amount of coverage, if not more, at a cheaper um, monthly premium, why not? How many people are going to switch?
yeah.
Because you could be saving that money and doing something else with that money. Another product we offer is senior health insurance, Medicare assessment. Most times, when the Medicare comes up with additional benefits, they're not calling people and saying, "Hey, we have new benefits in your area that you may qualify for." So we like to refer our seniors 65 and older who are receiving Medicare to a licensed professional, Medicare professional, that will look over their Medicare and see what they have and see if there are any additional benefits. Again, no harm, no foul. We make the referral, you get on the line, they'll tell you what they have available in that area. If you are like, yeah, that sounds good, I can use that, go ahead and submit the application. That doesn't cost you anything. And boom, now you're saving some additional money or getting some additional benefits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another referral we like to offer people is our prepaid legal for individuals and for businesses. Now, this one, hands down, like, I mean, we have all found ourselves at some point, right, in a situation with uh, a landlord or, you know what I'm saying, courts, whatever, right? The prepaid legal is like having a lawyer on retainer. If
Ooh.
you are in a situation where your landlord, say you move out, this is a good one because a lot of people experience this. In California, I think it's like 21 days they have to give you your deposit back. Um, do whatever they're gonna do, but they have to give you a list of what they did with your money and then refund you your deposit. Now, a lot of times they don't necessarily do that. They
Mhm.
take additional time. And if you don't really know your rights and you're just like, okay, you're calling them like, hey, where's my money? They gonna run circles around you because they like, look, what you gonna do? I got your money. I'm gonna give it to you when I get it to you.
Mhm.
Most times, you can call and we give thanks for the different, like, Bay Area Legal Aid is a legal resource that's free to the community, but they are overwhelmed. Like when the pandemic hit, the eviction moratoriums, right, that were in place, people couldn't get evicted. I mean, so many people need help. They are
Right.
flooded with so many people that it can sometimes take days, weeks to get somebody to call you back. Well, with the prepaid legal, you can call them up and say, hey, this is a situation. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to send a demand letter or they're going to make a phone call on your behalf. You know what that landlord's going to do? They're going to run you your money
Oh,
because they're going to say, wait a minute, a lawyer, they don't know that they
right.
don't know. They just see a lawyer on your behalf. They're not trying to get sued because they know that that lawyer knows the tenant rights and they know the legalities. They're like, okay, let me issue that. So
Oh,
we like to say, you know what? Don't be reactive. Be proactive.
mm,
Proactive instead of reactive is going to win every time. Because in the situation, sometimes you running around frantic, like, oh, I'm in this situation. How do I deal with this? Whether it's the state's trying to take your children. We've seen a lot of that. I don't know if anybody was, what was that, 2 years ago or something like that. It was a lot on IG. A lot of mothers talking about the hospitals were taking their children because they didn't want to vaccinate or all these different things, and it's devastating. It's
mhm.
devastating. And so when you're in the middle of a situation like that, it's hard to know, like, where do I go? Who do I call? You know what I'm saying? Prepaid legal. Okay.
Prepaid.
Prepaid legal. It's a $28 a month investment. There's a one-time $10 administration fee. So that's $38 to get you started. But that monthly investment is $28. I mean, again, we talk about DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever, something you can find that money where you just spending it, for asking, going out to eat at the restaurant, whatever it is. That's a great investment because how often do you need that prepaid legal? Quite often. You may not be aware of it. One of the things that comes with that service is wills. They will write, as part of your service, they will write you up a will, an advanced healthcare directive, right? Looking at a will, if you don't have a will in the state of California, and I'm sure it's probably in other states, but I live in Cali, so I'm gonna speak on that.
Mhm.
If you don't have a will and you have assets, when you transition, the state will determine what happens with your assets. You'll end
Mm,
up in probate court spending lots of money unnecessarily for them to decide and determine who gets what. And sometimes it might not be what it might not go to whoever the decedent wanted it to go to, but
right.
because nothing was in writing, here you are,
Right.
right? So that's the service that they offer. Again, same thing like advanced healthcare directive. A lot of times we don't think about that. In the case that you are unable to make decisions for yourself, you might want to appoint somebody, right? That you know and trust, and somebody that's going to carry out your wishes, because they're going to look at next of kin. Your next of kin might be your cousin or somebody you don't really know or talk to like that, or maybe they always had it out for you. Worst case
Right.
scenario, right? And so you don't want them to be in charge of the decisions for your health. But guess what? Prepay legal, call them up, say, hey, I want to get my advanced healthcare directive papers. I want to get my will written up, and they'll take care of that. And there's no additional fee. On the business side, if you just formulate a business, it's easy. Go online and you can draw you up an LLC. But sometimes we just, doing what we do. We don't really know. So it's nice to have a legal team to look over the documents and make sure everything is formulated properly. They do that. No additional cost, right? Say, for instance, you're detained. Call them up. Hey, I need somebody to come down here right now. Boom, right? So that's the great benefit of the prepaid legal. I'm gonna move on because I feel like I spent a lot of time on that, but
That
I
is
love it. I
awesome.
love it.
It's awesome to know, and we definitely all need to have access to that. Absolutely.
Yes. We live in California. Everybody out here loves to sue. Exactly. They will sue you for looking at
For
them.
looking wrong. Ah,
Just picked up on that. Looking at it, bro. Just look at it. It's just crazy. So yeah, just being proactive instead of reactive is gonna win every time. Um, ID theft protection is another one that we offer. I mean, what was it? 2019. It was about 14.4 million people who experience identity theft. And think about it. I mean, we have heard a lot about banks being hacked and all this. If they can hack a bank, if they can hack, the IRS and all these different things, what you think they're doing to you?
period.
Right. And it can be a lot to get that money back. It can be a lot to do the investigation and go through that process of saying, hey, that's actually not me. And think about it. A lot of times you don't know. You won't know until you go to make a major purchase, going to get a home or a car or something like that. And they're like, nah, we are not going to approve you because you owe $25,000 for it. You like, hold up, time out. I owe what?
Yeah.
But if you have this identity theft protection plan in place, they're constantly monitoring, and anything that looks off, they're going to immediately get up on you and like, hey, might want to pay attention. I have something that's going on over here.
Yeah.
So that's one of our products that we like to offer people as well. And then Vivint, we offer Vivint automation home security systems.
Oh, I've
And
heard.
you've heard of Vivint?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great things, I hope.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Yeah.
Yes. Vivint is, speaks for itself. Home security systems, a lot of us have them, they come in handy. I mean, I don't know if anybody what was it? It's heard of it. I want to say it was on IG or something. It was like a year ago. I want to say it was in Illinois, and they were talking about this new law or something that was going into effect that, like, if somebody's on your property, that they're not coming, you have to, like, good luck. You heard of that? And I was like, wait, what?
We're talking about that. Yes, ma'am.
I
Yeah.
was like, what world? We live in the wild, wild west. Like,
The
what's
purge.
happening?
The purge has
The
begun.
purge. Exactly, the purge, the clearing out. Okay. And so I mean, just thinking about it, so oftentimes, the security systems will kind of deter people, make people second, okay, I don't think I really want to, they have some cameras up, or they have an alarm system, so it can make people, just take a moment and think about what they're going to do. So those are some of the referrals that we do offer. Again, like I said, we do the life insurance. We also do the investments. Again, I'm not an investor, so I don't really want to talk too much about something that I can't answer questions on. Um, I'm sorry, my
Oh,
thing
you're.
is freezing. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay,
Are
good.
we able, Crystal, to bundle these services?
To bundle the services, no, the services are individual. The services are individual. You meaning like the insurance and the referral products?
Yeah, like if we wanted to do the insurance and then the prepaid legal, or did I say life insurance? Whoa.
Yeah, you said insurance. It's been a day. It's all good. No worries.
um it's like this water flowing out there is like putting me in this trance. I'm trying to stay
Right.
focused, okay?
Water, mama, water.
But yeah, like you know how sometimes I'll just use for example like who we go through our auto insurance. Sometimes we can like bundle stuff. Do y'all offer bundles like that?
Right. No, we don't, because again, the referral services are third party companies. So they're not our company. We're
Mm-hmm.
referring you out to someone else. So there is no bundle on that. But most of these the referrals are relatively inexpensive um costs. They
Oh,
cost
this
inexpensive.
one right here. He said, I had an eviction filed against me that I was not aware of because I was not evicted. And when I went to apply for a place, I use the landlord told me about it. I used prepaid legal. They removed the eviction in less than 1 week. That's what's up.
Wow, that is what's up. Because
That's
think about it. How long does that take? Usually.
I don't know because we had a situation a few years ago. We lived at our old residence for almost 11 years, and then our landlord just sent us a 30-day to vacate. And I always wondered, like, was that considered like an eviction or whatever? And they told us it wasn't. And when we came to live at our new place, they never said anything. But look at all the stuff that's happening on the behind, and you don't know what's going on, you know? And she said, when I called on my own, they ignored me. Wow.
Right. Because they often do. They don't see you as a threat. They can run circles around you. They don't feel like you know your rights. And so, and it sucks because a lot of people just, they don't have integrity. Because a person with integrity is going to, you know you're wrong. Go ahead and handle that. Get it done and stop playing. But when you have the right backing, you got them lawyers, get them. You know what I'm saying? Get them. And they're going to act right every time because they know better.
She said, when I had the legal team send the letter, they complied swiftly. And that's all period. Because, they think only the rich can afford some legal help, some
Right.
legal help. I was literally still living in the unit 2 years after the eviction. They claim I had
Hey, my
blood
head.
in the
That's crazy.
attic. Are you
That's
serious?
that's crazy. So how am I evicted and I still live there? Make it make
Right.
sense. Yeah, it happens. It happens all too often, and this is just the world we're living in. And I feel like the more the time is going by, just the crazier things get.
Yes, absolutely. That's definitely something we looking into. And she said
And
and yes, they never served me papers. And see, they be just trying to get over on folks.
right, because when you said they told you had 30 days, did they serve you any paperwork? Did they what is happening here? Like,
In my case, they did. She sent a letter, the verified letters that you have to sign for. It was
mhm,
that. And
okay,
I simply just thought it was like a rent increase because she had sent stuff, like that. And then I opened it and I was like, oh, and I wish I had it back then. And I get, divine intervention, divine timing, everything happens for your advancement. But I wish
yes,
I at least could have called somebody and asked what my options were.
absolutely, absolutely. Because think about it, when it's time to move, you don't realize how much stuff you have accumulated, and you have a family of four, five,
Mm-hmm.
and you have young ones. You accumulate a lot of stuff, and you like, dang. And then 30 days, like the pressure, that's a lot.
It
That's a
was,
lot.
baby. We just bounced back from that. Uh, uh, barely.
Okay. How has it been in the new place, though? I mean, again, everything happens for our highest and greatest good. So,
It's been great. It's been great. Um, like my spirit sister always says, I'm grateful, but it is a lot. Yeah. Okay. Love you too. Now let me ask you, Crystal. Obviously, we know about life insurance, but please tell us why it is important. It's imperative to have.
why life insurance is important to have? Well,
Mhm.
life insurance is important to have. Again, like I was stating earlier, it's the income protection. I gave the example earlier. Say for you have a two income household, right? Two parties, one transitions out, those bills are still the same. You're expected to pay those bills, right? You're expected to also now pay for the burial of your loved one, however that may see fit. And it really is about what you can afford. And a lot of times when you are underinsured or don't have insurance, you have to really get bare minimum. I remember growing up, my mother passed away when I was 18. She had cancer, and I remember, and kids never hear this or feel this, and I feel for my mom. She told my dad, she was like, "Look, just cremate me so you don't have to worry about the expenses of burying me." And like, you are losing your life. Like, you should not even have to think like that. I don't know the situation and all that because I was a child when all that was taking place, but just to think like having the proper insurance in place would have allowed for my father to bury my mother how she wanted, if she wanted to be buried, and have a nice service and all these different things, in addition to taking care of the bills and the children, because there were two small children that were left behind. So it's like, okay, how do we map this out? Well, life insurance allows you to do that. Say for instance, you own a home, you have a mortgage on the home, and your partner transitions. that mortgage still needs to be paid. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes these mortgage companies be ruthless. Sometimes they want their money up front. They're like, hey, that lease is due on demand right now. We need our money. Well, I mean, unless you have whatever the balance is, you might have to sell. You're
Yeah.
forced to sell the house because you can't afford it. Guess what? If you have life insurance, you can pay off that balance. And that's one of the things we do within our financial needs analysis is we're looking at what debt you have, what expenses you have, including like, child excuse me, your children going to college. If you want to have a child savings account for your children, we would include all those factors into finding out how much insurance you would actually need in the case or the event that your loved one is no longer here. So then that way, if they transition out, you're taken care of. You have now replaced their income. You now have the savings for, your children to go to college. You have that mortgage that you can pay off. You can bury your loved one, and then you have the time to grieve and you can rest. Because when we talk about nervous system all the time, talk about how jacked your nervous system is going to be if you don't have that insurance in place and you're scrambling as you're trying to grieve. I mean, you said you experienced that. How was it for you when you all lost your father-in-law, and you said you didn't have insurance or there was not enough?
They had no financial planning. Like, um, after he stopped working, or and stopped paying for it, since it wasn't like through the job or whatever they had set up, they just simply stopped paying on it. And the responsibility fell to my husband and his siblings. And like, luckily, thankfully, his oldest brother was able to take care of a lot of the financial burden. And, like we said earlier in our chat about the GoFundMe, and the credit union set up like a little memorial service thing where people could donate, and that was able to kind of like pay him back.
Right.
If you didn't have that, girl, who knows what would have happened. And even just the other day, I'm tripping. I got a phone call on a debt that was owed for my father-in-law, and I'm like, how did you get my information? Like,
Right, because they want their money. They like, we gonna search everybody high and low.
everybody, we turning up all the cobblestones to get our money. So yeah, like, and this is one thing, like Jarvis and I, we had been talking about. And like I said, I had some stuff in place when I worked for a company, and we just kind of just have what we had, but we're like, we need something different. Um, Absolutely, after his dad transition, yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's always great to have have options. Again, like I said, we want to provide our clients with the information so that they can make an informed decision. You know, what works for some might not work. Primerica might not be the company for you, and that's okay. But tap in with your girl or another insurance agent and say, "Hey, I would like to pull a quote so that you can see that we can run the numbers for you. You can see what that looks like for you." You know what I'm saying? Because, like you mentioned earlier, I mean, again, no shade, but when that happens in this time, and sometimes we have unexpected deaths, right?
Yeah.
Um, People have to do GoFundMe's. They're out here doing car washes and bake sales and all this stuff to raise money so that they can bury their loved one. And the thing about it is, again, going back to being proactive, you could invest that money now. That money you're spending on going out to eat every weekend or going to the club, take a portion of that and put it towards say a life insurance policy. Again, some insurance is better than none. Sometimes you have to start low, and then over time you can build up to more, because having something is way better than having nothing at all. And this just even thinking about the whole life insurance policy. Let's look at kind of lost my train of thought. I should have said it when something comes in your head and you're like, oh.
Yes.
So I'll wait and let us see if it comes back. If you are a single person with no children, is having a policy still a good idea? Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's still a good idea because when you transition, you may have debt, right? Your debt doesn't die with you when you die, right? That debt is left to be paid. So if you transition out, you don't have any children, you still have loved ones. Like my sister Jamillah said, they coming after whoever. Hey, where's our bread? So
Yeah.
having a life insurance policy allows for the loved ones that are still here to be able to use that money to pay off any debt that you owe, which is, yeah, it can be a lot, because then they'll mess around and try to come after you and your money. to pay off your loved one's debt, and that's, that can be tragic.
It can. And I'm just like, wow. And it should. I mean, I don't know. The debt should die.
Right.
The debt
I'm
should.
not here anymore. My debt is clear, free. Bye bye.
Oh Lord. So what for a single person, what type of coverage would you recommend?
Well, personally, like I said, our motto, I don't call it motto, but it's invest by term, invest the difference. So we only offer term insurance, and term insurance is insurance that's covered for a term, whether it's 10 up to 50 years, however that may be. So that's the only thing that we offer. We only offer term insurance because our goal is to, how do I want to put it? It's to get you properly protected in the case or the event that something happens. So let's look at a young family, right? Young individuals. You're more than likely to have more debt as a younger person. You have maybe mortgages, you have children who are younger who need to be taken care of. So that income protection is going to be awesome. As you get older, right? Say you have been, like, you bought term, you invest in a difference, your money is doubling. You have now the cash flow to be able to take care of yourself in retirement or whatever. We don't want you to be financially dependent on insurance your entire life. As
Right.
you get older, you don't need that $300,000 policy per se, because now by the time you're 65 or so, hopefully your house is paid off or you only owe a little bit. So then you can decrease the amount of insurance that you actually have just to kind of cover the basic necessities. And you can use the money that you have built up in your savings and different investment portfolios that you have going on.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something to look into, Nelly. And yeah,
Yes.
I mean, gosh, it irks me the more because we're both homeschool moms. The more I learn, we all these things should have been poured into us
Yes.
kindergarten. Like,
Yes. Yes. Like, I'm so grateful to be homeschooled mama, because then you can teach your children the things that are going to be vital. Like, it makes me think back to Legacy. I was talking to Legacy one time, and she was like, talking about, I think she worked with like older adults and like continuation school type situations, and she was like, some of them don't know how to tell time, like on a non-digital clock. She was like, some of them don't know how to do basic things like laundry and care for themselves. Like, it makes me think back to my grandmother. My grandmother taught all her children, boys and girls, how to cook, clean, sew, all this, because one day you may have a wife but maybe you don't, and I don't want my son to be out here and don't know how to do for self. So I'm gonna
right.
teach you how to do all of these things, and that's very important, to be able to know how to do for yourself. When you think about life is always lifing. It's not gonna switch up. You just got to get better and stronger and faster and all the things. And so, yeah, I just say that, the more information that you have to make the best decision for yourself is going to always be helpful in dealing with life, because it's going to keep doing what it's doing. You just got to get better. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, what do you suggest like our first steps moving forward that we take to start planning better for our families from here on out?
The first step you want to do is, I say, find you a trusted financial advisor that you can sit down with. And even before you do that, I think looking at it yourself is always good too. To just look at, where your money's going, how you spending your money, just to kind of become more aware. Because again, even though you have this financial professional that may be assisting you, we want to assist you. We want you to take the reins. Like, we talk about that all the time. And the goal is to teach you how to do it for yourself, so you're not always dependent on somebody else. So taking a look at it yourself, and then so that you have a game plan. This is what I know I need. This is what I know I want. And then you come to your financial professional and say, hey, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to go, and allow them to assist you to make those take those steps, having that financial needs analysis to look at, what would be the best option for you. So if you're interested in saying, hey, I'm interested in like figuring out where I'm at, where I need to go, the first step is to book a consultation. You know what I mean? Book a consultation so we can sit down and do some more one-on-one talking about what it is that your goals are and how we can help you achieve them, because it's no time like the present. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're still alive and got breath in your body, it's never too late to turn things around.
Hmm. Do you guys? I always remember Mama Ice was talking about living insurance. Do you guys offer anything like that?
We do not. The living insurance is the IUL, I believe it is. It's a cash value policy. We do not offer that. We believe that the cash and the insurance and your savings should be separate.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes.
What is the difference between living and life insurance?
Well, the living is um it's an IUL, it's an Index Universal Life Insurance Policy. So it's a life insurance policy, but then it also has a saving aspect to it. With the IUL, it's connected to like an index fund, so it kind of has this higher yield savings. It's going to double your money, right? And supposedly, like if you were to transition, depending on how much money you have in there, that's what you'll get paid out. But say, for instance, you're alive and you're like, hey, I need maybe some work done on my house. You want to pull from that policy, you're allowed to basically like borrow from yourself and then
Oh,
you just pay it back. So it just has that cash access while
oh,
you're alive. That's what the IUL does. Yeah.
hmm.
Some debate about whether or not that's actually, I've heard different things, but I definitely again say do your research,
Right.
because that might be something you want to invest in, and that's totally okay. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, do your research, do some digging about IULs if that's something you were interested in doing, and the just the different policies that they offer. Index, universal life, whole life, term, and just seeing what is best for you and your family, because it's your life, you got to live it, and you want to make sure that what you're investing in is what you really want. You don't want anybody pushing you to something because they like, this is what I know is best. Like, that's not what I want though. That's not what I said.
Right.
So yeah, just doing your research, doing your due diligence is gonna definitely put you ahead of the game.
Mm,
God keeps showing us we gotta be prepared while we down here. Exactly.
period. That's on period. We have to. And utilize people that have the knowledge and the know how because, like you said, they're not teaching us these things. They don't want to teach us these things. They don't want us to have a leg up. And the more kind of chaotic and crazy things are at the end of our life, that just spirals on for the next. We got to nip this in the bud. Okay.
We do. We definitely do. That I just remember my train of thought. A couple things I wanted to say. So going back to life insurance, one of the things we offer in our life insurance is a child rider. So basically, a child rider means insurance coverage for your children. That's something that we never want to have happen. Our children to transition before us, but unfortunately, things like that do happen. And so you're able to, while you get your insurance, just for a small additional fee, still very affordable, right? You can add a child rider to your policy, and then your children are covered. There's no medical exam or anything like that. Boom, your child is covered up until I believe I still want to say it's like 25, and then at that point, then they have to have their own individual policy. But that's something that's super great and beneficial in the event that something happens. I had a colleague that she's the principal at a school. A teacher, I think he was a teacher at her school. His grandson, 17 or 18, something like that, was driving and was ejected from a car, and he transitioned out. And that's already devastating enough when you lose a child, especially unexpectedly and violently like that. And they had no insurance on the child, and they were just devastated at the loss, but then also devastated at the cost of having to bury their loved one. So that's one of the great things about the policy that we do offer, is that you do have that child rider that you can add on to the policy. So yeah. And then I wanted to, not necessarily talking about the insurance, but just kind of tapping it back to the whole homeschooling thing and the ability to kind of move around how you choose. My oldest son, he was a freshman last year, and I'm so grateful. He's a really great guy. He has a good head on his shoulders. We were picking his electives, and he selected for himself personal finance, right? And I was like, go ahead, boy. Okay, you out here 14 years old, telling me you want to take some personal finances. And that's dope, because when they take an interest in it as young children, play into that, not play
Mhm.
into that, but like feed into that and allow them to explore that. Because think about if we were advanced and knew this stuff at 14, 15, where we would be now.
Maybe they couldn't get one. Oh,
Okay, period, point blank. Like, think about investment accounts. For instance, you can take a minimum of $25 and say, I have $25 I want to start investing, and I have $25 a month that I want to invest every month. You 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 years old, whatever, right? And of course, as you get more, say, tax time, for some people, it's like, oh, I don't know, I have this great lump sum, I can just throw a little extra, or maybe I did a little overtime or some bonuses or whatever at work. You do that one time additional, but invest in those in savings accounts, okay, to make your money work. Because when we think about stuff like retirement plans, 401ks, I'm not going to say don't have one. Definitely have a 401k with your job, especially one that matches, right? They're like, hey, we'll match you. Get that free money. But the thing about 401ks is it's not taxed. So when you go to get that money, you might have $400,000, 700,000 saved, but when you get taxed, you're not getting all of that money.
Nope.
You're
Yeah.
not going to get all that money. And so when you think about savings accounts and Roth IRAs and things like that, that money is already taxed. So when you go to access it, maybe that's all you. It's
Mhm.
all you. And you can use that in conjunction with your 401ks. The goal is just to put yourself in a more stable condition, a more financially, I'm trying to find the word, drawing a blank, but you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
okay? To put yourself in a position to win, because that's what they're doing. Think about when you go to a bank, you ever, well, probably not. We probably haven't went in the bank. Like, I want to withdraw $60,000 right now, or 100,000, right? But you think about it, you see maybe in a movie or something, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't give you that money right now." Like,
Right.
why? I came in here and deposited. You didn't tell me I couldn't deposit that amount right now.
Right.
That's because they're using that money to invest. They don't want you to know that.
Yeah.
Honestly, they actually do invest in like IULs and things as well. When you think about banks and other businesses, they do that, and they also invest in high yield savings accounts with your money.
Mm.
But they give you like 0.001%. While they're investing yo $60,000, $70,000, right, over here into this account that's yielding them big bucks. That's why they can't give it to you right now, because it's tied up. You know what I'm saying? So who's winning in that situation? It's gonna always be them. So we want to put you in a situation where you can know, okay, I don't have to settle for that 0.001%. I can say, you know what, I want to invest my money in something that's going to return my money to me a little quicker, a little faster, double it up. Because I don't know about you, think about 0.1, that's about 72 years. I don't have 72 years to watch my money double.
No.
It's not going to do much unless I come in with some millions.
Baby, I need to see something every month. Okay.
Period. Period.
Nelly said, as soon as your direct deposit hits these bank accounts, they use your money however they want.
True. True. Let me tell you, I was at the movie theater the other day, and I was at the concession, and I was like, hey, how you doing? He's like, oh, me, not bad. Well, you know what? I'm doing horrible. I was like, doing the worst? Like, he was like, yeah, the worst. I said, what's going on? He said, I'm a bank, money all tied up. I think it was Patelco or something. There was something on with Patelco, and it was a ransom demand or something. I don't know. Anybody bank with Patelco? Anybody heard this? And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, it started on the 29th or something. It was 3-4 days later. And they was like, yeah, they want their money and they want some kind of ransom or something. But they were like, you can have up to $500 of your money. Everything else is locked down. First of all, it's mine. What you mean I can't have it?
Right.
I was blown away by that. I was just like, what?
Nelly said they have the nerve to charge you a fee for overusing your money. Yep, sure
Yep.
do. She says they make billions a year in extra money from the over.
Exactly.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said she. I don't know. I can't see.
That
Y'all
is a she.
old because I need glasses. I can't see.
That's a she. But you're right. They do. They make so much money off these overdraft fees and just so many things like predatory loans. I mean, like, think about what year was that when a lot of people lost their homes because they were, set into these loans that they really, really couldn't afford. And then their homes were foreclosed on. Like, they predatory out here. Like, they out here preying on people. And if you don't know, they're banking on you not knowing
Yeah.
every time. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say find you somebody who you can trust, somebody has some integrity, because it doesn't benefit either of us for me to lock you into something that's, oh, I want to get this great commission. So I'm going to lock you in this $500,000 policy that's going to cost you $250 a month or something. And you can't afford to pay it. So now what happens? You lapse your policy, so now you have no coverage. Boo, that's whack. We don't need you to be having no insurance, right?
Right.
And then I'm gonna have a chargeback. They're gonna charge me for that policy being canceled, right? So I don't want that. I want you to be locked in on something that is gonna benefit you, something that you can afford to sustain, right? Again, lock in is something you can afford now, and later on you can, access, more. Sometimes these banks and these different companies, they don't have your best interest at heart. And if you don't know the rules of the game, if you don't know, oh, they're gonna run you for your money. They gonna they gonna say run you around the block and
Oh,
run circles around you.
that's just, oh,
It's frustrating, but
it's disgusting.
it's very disgusting.
Oh,
It's
well,
very disgusting.
for sure, because my husband was on here listening, we are definitely going to be touching base with you because these are some things we definitely need for our family.
Indeed, indeed.
For sure. Now, Crystal,
Yes,
tell us
ma'am.
in where we can find you and where we can inquire about your services.
Yes, ma'am. So you can find me at Crystal_Bolton on Instagram, and in the link in my bio, you can book a consultation. I do have a link there also for prepaid legal for so anybody who might have heard anything tonight and they're like, I definitely know I need that right now. You don't even have to have another conversation with me. You can just go right on there and sign up if that's what you're interested in. But if you're interested in other products or services that require additional information, book a consultation, DM me, say, hey, what's happening? I'm interested. I need more information. And we can definitely go from there. For securities, I have a trusted colleague that I could make the intro for. If you're interested in investment accounts, then she can show you some things and answer any questions you might have.
Okay. And I'll make sure after the end of our live, you guys, I will link all her stuff in the description box below as well because this is something we definitely all need to jump on now. Okay.
Right. And I wanted to mention also, like I said, we have the business opportunities. So, what I'm doing to help families, you could also do. And one of the great benefits is, for instance, if you were to say, I want to join you in business because I need some extra income, right? You could join me in business and then refer yourself to the auto home insurance or the prepaid legal and pay yourself.
Oh,
Exactly. Pay yourself back. Okay. Pay yourself for the referral. Instead of paying me, you can pay yourself. I mean, what are the great things? And the thing that I love about it is Primerica pays for your licensing. So life insurance, I came into this agency, I was already life licensed. But I'm studying for my securities license. They're going to pay for that. That is about $500. Okay, that gets real pricey. They're gonna pay for that. They're gonna invest in me. Okay, I take it. I'm studying. Outside of that, I want to also get my mortgage license. That's another service that we offer. Get my mortgage license. They'll pay for that. Right. One day I'm gonna be purchasing some more homes, and I'll be able to write my own mortgage and pay myself for that. So it is just very beneficial all the way around. I love paying myself. Okay.
cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. I'll be
Yes.
talking to you about some stuff. Girl.
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely reach out. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure. Thank you for everybody who came in and joined us on the live or is watching the replay. Thank you so much for being here. We really truly appreciate you.
Yes, we
Thank you so
truly
much.
do. So much gratitude for spending some time with me today, and I cannot wait to have you back. Okay.
Jay, yes, can't
And
wait to be back.
we'll be in contact, girl, because
Yes, ma'am. Yep,
divinely orchestrated all of this. Okay.
absolutely. I got mine. That's right. I got a few people on here that didn't, went ahead and got properly protected. Okay.
Hey,
Yes.
we about to though. All
Yes.
right, guys. Well,
All
thank you
right.
for tapping in with us.
Yes.
We're gonna see you next week, next Friday, for the Motherhood Realness podcast. And make sure that you follow Crystal and get some information from her because we definitely need it in these times. Okay.
Indeed.
All right. Peace, you guys.
Yes.
Peace. We did it.